Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. I regret invading his privacy advice. So last night I went on my husband's MacBook. I saw a random number on his call log from a few weeks ago when he went to the bar. I decided to call the number and a woman answered. I confronted him and he got upset and told me how I invaded his privacy. He told me that the person was an old friend from high school and the woman who answered the phone was probably his friend's girlfriend. So, I decided to look up the caller ID and I found out the number is registered to his ex-girlfriend's father. He finally told me that he contacted her brother to hang out, but he didn't want to tell me because I might get jealous. I then decided to add the number to my contacts and I found the person's Snapchat and I strongly believe it is his ex-girlfriend's Snapchat username because of the username. I confronted him, but he is getting defensive and still dwelling on the fact that I invaded his privacy. I think the signs are there, but am I overreacting? Am I looking too deep into things? He is misdirecting you, trying to hide the actual issue under a barrage of fake issues. This sounds like some serious gaslighting. First he said it was a friend from high school, lie. Then he said he didn't tell you because you'd get jealous, probably have no reason to if it's a guy friend, if you aren't a jealous person, right? Then he said he was calling his ex's brother. This confirmed he lied before. And once you did your own digging, found the number linked to his ex's Snapchat, and this coincides with a woman answering the phone. And then, he deflected and made it about you invading his privacy to take the focus off him. So to recap, he lied, blame shifted, lied again, and deflected. Then you likely found the truth on your own. The color of flags are very red and this follows the cheater script almost down to a T. I'd be questioning why he's calling his ex-girlfriend while he says he's at the bar. He's 110% lying to you, op. Stop trying to find the good on him and let her have him. If he's interested in another woman, he doesn't have the time needed to commit to you. Leave. Couldn't have said it better. You both are married, right? Invaded his privacy? Nope. Why did you look? Did you have that gut feeling, some red flag went up for you? Well, a committed couple should never give the other red flags or have them question their fidelity, no? There should be no secrets between two people who are married or committed. And his reactions and sidestepping all this, if you were in his position and he had gathered what you have, what would he think? Something was up. Even if he didn't do anything with her, he was being deceptive and untruthful. BTW, cheaters lose their rights to privacy after they cheat. If you're married, your expectation of a right to privacy from your partner should be damn near zero, short of a surprise birthday party you are planning. Or taking a shit. I don't want any wife of mine watching that gruesome process. Here is a great example of why right to privacy isn't to be in a marriage. Husband is in an accident, dies, all financial information, life insurance, banking information etc. in both names but under his email/accounts/phone number etc. Wife has no access. She's a beneficiary in all areas of the world. Normally, there are exceptions. That just shouldn't happen. There is no yours and mine, it becomes ours after marriage. My dude who cheated on me with several women got mad when I finally got fed up with not knowing where he was and checked his phone. He kept saying I invaded his privacy. It's like reading someone's diary. I'm an open book. He also had a password on his device and was acting sneaky with his texts before I found out. Cheaters have to lie, some are very good at it and will try to make you seem like you're crazy. Don't fall for it. They always gaslight and deflect and try to flip the situation around to make the spouse seem like the bad guy. And have the nerve to be angry on top of all that. If we are together and open and honest, then why are you hiding things? Why are you telling me lies? And not even good lies either. Obvious lies. You're not overreacting and you're not wrong. He's gaslighting you. Even after I went through his computer? If it was completely innocent, an honest partner should want to help put your mind at ease, not attack you. Especially when his first story fell apart and he admitted lying to you so that you wouldn't think he was doing something else. After further investigation, it turns out he was indeed contacting his ex. The only reason you can't see this is because he is making you doubt yourself, but you are right. If it was innocent at all, he'd offer to call or text that number and it would provide clarity very quickly. Having been a gaslighter asshole myself, regret to say he's ducking with you, less elegantly put. Yep, his privacy argument ended with the first lie. How many times has he told you about this? You are his wife, what is his is yours and yours is his. Just wow here. It sounds like you called the phone number first, before asking your husband. If that is the case, why? Why wouldn't you ask him first? Why were you looking at his MacBook in the first place? Is it because you know you can't trust what he says? The rest of the story sure does support that conclusion. It sounds like you snooped, caught him being shady, and are maybe trying to convince yourself you didn't. The reason he lied to you wasn't really because you'd get jealous, it was because he knows he's being sketchy, wanted to do it anyway, and didn't want to have to deal with consequences from that decision. His concern about his privacy is simply an attempt to shift the focus away from what he's doing. He is 100% deflecting his guilt onto you by making you feel guilty. Even if nothing happened, something's up. If your gut told you to check, that is all you need. Invading privacy is a main excuse in the cheater's handbook. I should know it was what my wife tried to attack me with when I found out about her sending nudes and videos to another guy. That I was in the wrong for invading her privacy. Tell him to tell you the truth. If he still gaslights, and he probably will, you then run a proper scan on the PC using data recovery software and see what you find. Only ever confront a cheater when you know the truth, as they will try to lie their way out of it. Cheater's Handbook 101. Lie. And lie. How you found something isn't more important than the fact there was something to find. Don't let him deflect. No, it isn't ideal to snoop and everyone is entitled to privacy, but the fact he's being so defensive and shady about it is a red flag. Don't let him spin it to make out that the way you found out is worse than what you found. When you're married, your expectation of privacy on shit like that should be 0. Legally, when married, 2 becomes 1. Bottom line, FK that, he's hiding something, or a lot of something. If you're married, this is an ex from years ago. He's trying to get an easy side piece lined up. Sorry that you had to find out like this, but hopefully you can get it worked out. Get a lawyer, get a therapist, and get an STD test. Make some steps he needs to take to make this right, and do it with other people present. Otherwise, get the lawyer and a pie and catch them in the act. It sounds like he is lying. I'm sorry. When you're married, there is no such thing as private. Marriage is full disclosure through equal trust. He knows that. He's mad that he got caught breaking that trust and now he's trying to slip under the radar and flip the script. Don't buy any of his false words. You're not overreacting. Trust that intuition. And be prepared for round 2. Stay sharp. He is purposely attempting to redirect the conversation because he knows he's guilty. Typical projection. Tell him you're leaving. Take a 2-week break from him. Your current approach won't change his response, so change your approach and use Grey Rock and 180ing. There is privacy and then there is secrecy. There should be nothing on a phone or computer that jeopardizes your marriage. Privacy is closing the door when you use the restroom. He's loading you with so much bullshit to make you feel guilty and for you to stop investigating and to believe him. People not guilty would not be defensive. They would open the phone, open every secret-looking app, to call the number and ask for his old buddy. Sorry, but it's an old ex-girlfriend and he has / talking to her and you caught him. You're not sure what's going on? Get a buy. Set up a lie detector. I can't believe you invaded my privacy, is what cheaters say shortly before they get caught. Lies and changing stories, A/K/A serial lies, constitute, usually unsuccessful, cover-ups and attempts at damage control. Personal privacy and hiding things from your spouse are two entirely different things. Your husband is secretly contacting his ex. He gave a bullshit excuse, which you called him on. He has no other way to go but to throw the blame at you. Trust your gut. If this man will lie to you about a phone call, what else will he lie about? You caught him and he's doing anything he can to continue to be upset with you for invading his privacy so that he doesn't have to explain himself. Don't settle for his lies. Maybe become distant until he asks what's wrong, and then you can let him know that you need the honest truth. You find a reason to doubt your partner again. When confronted, he lies about it. When you find out about the lie, he tells you something else. You dig again, and find reasons to believe he might be lying. If he gets all defensive and tries to shift the blame towards you, those are signs that he might be cheating. When you add to that he initially lied to you, that makes it so much worse. Throw an ex into the mix, and yes, you're getting cheated on, no doubt from where I'm standing. And F. Regretting invading his privacy. You wouldn't have invaded his shady privacy if he had been a good husband. He's gaslighting you. He's lying, and trying to deflect. Don't let him make you feel bad. Ever heard of trickle truth? Keep pressing. But best have evidence ready. Observe the situation first. But it's an old friend, it's ex's father, okay, it's ex's brother, but you might get jealous. Sounds like the step-by-step coming closer to the actual truth. That's the first sign of trickle truth. Don't get too pressured for now. Maybe even apologize, or he'll just start to hide it better. Went to a bar. Married. In a bar. Hanging out with his ex-girlfriend's brother after asking you for a divorce because you're not trying hard enough. Went to a bar husband. Always sounds like a winner. No, you're not overreacting, and he's probably lying. Chances are he wants to make sure you get nothing in the divorce, and infidelity always looks bad. I just keep all your screenshots and evidence handy for a judge. Judges actually believe, most of the time, that a marriage is 50-50. His Reddit responses, if this is actually even a real thing going on, sound like a person who's panic-stricken. You found out about this before he could railroad you in a divorce and head off to be with his ex on Fantasy Island for 6 months. I've never once cheated on you. I've heard this expression 3 times in my life, and both people had cheated on me. And one said it once and then repeatedly. For years. People who are lying subconsciously say stupid things like this and use excessive language, never, or flip words around to make it true. What he might actually mean is, I've never cheated on you just once. I've cheated on you tons. So no, you're not overreacting. If it was dating, don't know, but it's marriage, and married people share a bed, kids, a phone, and so much more. The only people who need privacy are people who are doing things they're ashamed of. Secrecy is not the same as privacy. Couples should not be playing the secrecy is privacy game. Saying he didn't tell you for any possible reason is simple doublespeak for secrecy. He cheated, and that is all that matters. Who would get jealous, fear losing what we hold dearest, when we find out they are or are trying to cheat? Excerpt from an article. What's the difference between an emotional affair and friendship? At first glance, it can be hard to differentiate an emotional affair from a close friendship, but there are some key differences. A friendship is supportive and involves someone you may see a few times a month, says licensed therapist Katie Ziskind. An emotional affair, on the other hand, tends to involve someone you see regularly, often with great anticipation. Think along the lines of a coworker, that person who's always on your bus in the morning, or your favorite barista, though it's totally possible to have relationships with all of these folks without it being considered an emotional affair. According to Rose, it all comes down to transparency. If you're purposefully hiding information about your conversations or interactions with this person from your partner, it may be more than a run-of-the-mill friendship. My ex did the same thing. I found a snap name and conversation and asked her, and she got mad and said it was just a friend from high school, when actually it was a guy she was seeing from Tinder and that she slept with the next week. Your intuition set your radar off and you immediately found something. There is more to this, but if you let it go then you are ignoring your gut and that never works out. We see the signs subconsciously, so sometimes it doesn't register till we find out. I would say with 110% certainty that he went out with his ex and is in contact. Maybe he isn't done anything yet, but he did go out and see them and is possibly in more contact. He already lied, so I would demand open access to his electronics, or if you have it I would snoop harder to find evidence. He probably cleaned everything from that account, but if you look hard enough you might find something. This is a classic example of gaslighting on his part. Remember, it is better to ask forgiveness than permission at this point. Wife is back at it again. Rant. Married for 15 years. I am 10 years older than my wife. From the start of the marriage she has texted and flirted, and probably more, with multiple men. Each time I confront her about it, I get blown up for being controlling and that I am insecure and there is nothing going on. It is all in my head. Each time the affair ends for some reason, either flames out due to lack of contact or some other reason, who knows. Had a nice 2-year stretch where I didn't see anything, let me guard down and thought we had finally made it through all of that. Last night I saw an unusual name on Facebook Messenger. It was some older guy sending her a selfie with a bunch of hearts streaming out. She once again said I was untrusting, that it was a mistext, blah blah. It's exhausting to be involved in this. Is there any hope? From what I read on here it seems not. She seems like a serial cheater. I am tired and I dread everything to come. I am sure if I instigate the separation I will be told I am crazy and irrational and I don't love her and I am destroying our family, all the usual stuff. Like I said, 15 years and I just can't take it anymore. Thanks for letting me vent. She is a serial cheater. Doing it multiple times shows that obviously she won't change. She might not even care anymore since you always forgave. Leave. Indeed, there have been no consequences for her infidelity, so she's always going to go back to it. Dude. There is a better life, and it does not include your wife. You can thank me later. Nice, that rhymes. Is there any hope? No. You've wasted 15 years of your life already. Don't waste 15 more. She will never change. Throw her out. Get a dog. Get a cat. Heck, get a goldfish. Don't confront anymore and get all the proof you can. Lawyer up and protect yourself, because that's all you have now. Is yourself. This. She hasn't stopped because there were never any consequences. She cheats. You get mad. She denies and blames you. And wash, rinse, and repeat. And maybe the truth is she wouldn't have stopped no matter what you did. 15 years is a long time to be unhappy. This. Also, if you leave, you didn't destroy the family. She did. Agreed. Maybe a pie if the attorney recommends it will help. AG, with all of this he let it just happen and let her win, but I think he needs real evidence of infidelity via a PI or some snooping. This is what you do if you live in an at-fault state: download the best rated data recovery software you can find. Then take her phone and recover all data that has been deleted from her phone. Go through everything and take any evidence of infidelity to your lawyer and file for divorce. It's never too late to find someone who will not cheat on you. Hope you find the love you deserve. Good idea. She's not going to change and you've put up with it, and the lying and gaslighting, for so long that she believes you are okay with it. This was an issue you should have dealt with at the start, but it's not too late to make the break and not waste the rest of your life on someone undeserving. Lawyer up, and when you're ready to serve her, tell her you figured out how to be sure she won't cheat on you. Divorce. Now she can do whatever the duck she wants. How's that for freedom? She's not gonna change. You've seen that. You're gonna keep taking it being disrespected, or do something about it. Separating will accomplish nothing, it just delays divorce 90% of the time. She keeps doing it because you keep forgiving her and she gets no consequences. I agree. And I know this is a fantasy land wish, but what the hell, can't people just be happy with what they have, and if they are not, let the other person know? Why all the secret crap and denying that has to be as exhausting as it is to me to hear it? I would be tired just coming up with all of the false anger and blame sooner or later. Isn't it not worth it for her either? Jeez. Do you realize how much power you give to the words coming out of her mouth? I suspect it doesn't get any better, the pain is still the same every time she does it, and I am so sorry for you. Her accusing you is just ducking callous. At the same, you have not let her suffer consequences. If it is needed for divorce, gather evidence. See your lawyer to determine your legal standing, and get a plan together that protects you legally. File for divorce, which can be withdrawn. Separate finances and stop all shared credit cards. Take your ring off. Move to the spare bedroom, she will call you all kind of things, and insult your manhood. Read up on the 180 and Grey Rock method as found on survivinginfidelity.com. Book for individual counseling. Once you have your things ready, you can entertain any thoughts of working on the marriage. This whole process is for her to realize that you are done with her games, and also for you to protect yourself. Yeah, and currently she is mad at me for not trusting her. So I am the bad guy once again for seeing her receiving messages from another man. It's incredible how people can manipulate a situation if you let them muck. Whatever I am just done. I will start to collect the information and turn it over to attorney. It will be painful to see that stuff and not say anything, but from what I am hearing, it's best to not confront and get attorney and protect myself. Thanks. I'm curious, how does she respond to men's advances online? Does she ignore them? Does she respond in kind, sending pics, nudes, sexting? Reason I'm asking is because my wife has a male friend who flirts with her, calling her sexy, gorgeous, baby, etc., but my wife puts him down and says she just wants to be friends. I have been seeing her emails and they only meet at the grocery store and talk only a short time. Most that has been exchanged between the two are hugs. You need to nip that in the bud yesterday, my man. That is not even close to okay. She is keeping a potential duck buddy in the stable just in case. You can talk to this dude yourself and let him know what's up, but the fact that your wife allows this level of disrespect towards her husband is the bigger issue. That's just it. Every time he suggests anything, a meet-up for coffee, a more private conversation, even through a phone call, she shoots him down. She never says I love you or any pet names, and other than his flirting, what's discussed is common topics. As far as hugging, my wife hugs all her friends and I'm okay with that. I can shoot this down, but I'm waiting to see how this progresses. We have been married for 35 years and have been in a dead bedroom for 12. She tells me sex is painful for her and she hates sex. I need to know if this is true. If this so-called friendship turns into an EA or PA, we are done. It is interesting how this guy works. He seems to be very good at this and shows patience I didn't think was possible. He seems to be trying to groom her into cheating. Been tracking this for 9 months and nothing. My wife is very attractive, so I guess he still wants to stay in the game. I don't believe my wife is going to move past the friendship phase. Guys like this one you are mentioning are pure scum. That he is. So sorry about this, but you really should have hired a buyer a long time ago and gotten to the bottom of it. You've been rug sweeping for so long, it's all you know in life. She's at the very least emotionally cheating, she's probably ducking these other guys too. At this point, hire a lawyer. Get in with a therapist. Make sure to protect your assets. Gather evidence or have the lawyer find you a reputable buy. I really don't think there's any point in trying to save what you're calling a marriage. You're her meal ticket while she goes around giving the goodies to whomever she feels like. That would make me indescribably angry. Why did you waste 15 years on that crap, man? I would have kicked her to the curb the first time. Get rid of her and go enjoy your life. You deserve it. Yeah, like most guys like me, I have hung on way too long for the kids. That seems to be the only reason. We keep a good face for them, but I mean in the long run it's not worth it. The kids will be fine. I hope. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.